I'm Rob Leonard, host of Beatles Songs for the past 24 years right here on WHPC. Beatles Songs airs every Friday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., playing the music of the Beatles together, apart, along with Beatle cover songs and songs the Beatles covered, along with songs the Beatle either guested on and or produced. And of course, we provide Beatle news. It's not the same show where they play the same 10 songs. So join me every Friday for Beatle Songs, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College, streaming at ncc.edu/WHPC.
That's a nice Mercury Marquis pulled up over there.
You pulled that crest beautifully. You were on the pike, my Hodad friend. Let me tell you, you kind of just nailed that.
I was hanging 14. Oh, wait.
You were hanging something. I don't know what it was. But you know what? Let's hang out on the phone. We'll go back and say, hi, you're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hello.
Hello, Cole. You're on with the Motor Mouths.
I can hear you being quiet.
I guess that was that. All right.
I was scared another one. You know, hey, that's all right.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention, Joe, our good friend Cliff sent me this notice. Of course, everybody's using big Mustang Mach 1s. That the Milleridge Inn is kicking off their season April 18th, which is next Wednesday. That's on 585 North Broadway, and they have a cruise night every Wednesday. And I haven't been to it, but what I hear is they have girls come out, waitresses, and you can take like a drink order or an appetizer order, and the stuff is like half price.
Wow, that's
so of course
cool.
All the moochers go there and they eat for half price, and they load up before they go home.
I mean, the Milleridge Inn, do they come out in those colonial costumes and stuff?
I don't know. I haven't been there, but I'm hoping to get there this summer. But that kicks off on the 18th. So let's do this again. We'll go back to the phones and say hi. You're on with the Motor Mouths.
Good morning, boys.
Mark, how are you?
What's going on, man? I just want to give you an update on the Mercury station wagon brake story.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Sable story.
Well, as you know, I put those drilled and slotted rotors on.
Right.
Okay.
And I got centric brake pads for it.
Right.
Okay.
I've been using for all the other cars, and they work great. Anyway, when I pushed back the pistons, they went back so easy and nice on both sides.
Right.
And I got in the car, and I started driving it around. A little bit hard to stop at the beginning, but I guess that's because everything was new. And it wore in a little bit. But every time, like if I'm on the parkway and I step on the brake,
right.
It feels like the car wants to go to the right slightly. It doesn't go. It stays straight, but it has that feel to it. And it's quite annoying.
So you have the GPS plugged into the brake system and it's trying
you would think, right?
I was going to say, independent of the brake caliper issue or the hose issue that you have, did you do the bedding procedure for the new pads and rotors?
I went online, I looked it up how to do it, and I did.
It actually comes with the centric parts. They actually include it on the box, and they put a sheet in there with the pads. They're very good about that.
I don't recall seeing that, but I did it anyway.
Okay.
You know?
Good idea.
And
very
like
important.
I said, I opened the bleeders, and I pushed the pistons back, and there was no issue, like always.
It just seems they don't want to come back the other way, though. Or one of them does and the other one doesn't.
It's like the left side is not really working as hard as the right side is. For something not a lot. It just has the car kind of...
The car goes to the left.
The car goes to the right. The car goes straight, but it feels like it wants to go to the right.
When you brake, it does what? I thought you said when you brake, it wants to go to the left a little bit.
When I step on the brakes, like at parkway speeds, it feels like it wants to shift to the right slightly.
Okay, so either the right caliper is working and the left one isn't to the same degree.
Right. I was just thinking of changing the caliper and being done with it. I mean, they're like $30.
And then get the hoses.
Yeah.
And I had no issues with the hoses.
It doesn't matter. You're going to open the system, you're going to change the caliper, put the brake hoses on it. You're right there.
Right. That's not a bad idea, actually.
And also a hose could have a slight restriction in it.
That's why I said calipers or hoses earlier, because the hoses collapse from the inside. It's like an artery.
That was a thing I see a lot on, like, say, G-body.
GMs,
G-body cars, Camaros. They would have an internal kink for whatever the reason, and the car would do some funky quick turns on you there, you know?
Yeah, and it would lock up because the fluid can't go back through it.
Right.
Exactly.
Quick and dirty low-tech thing on that is you get yourself a couple of small containers, like baby food jars, something like that, and some hose. Crack the bleeders. All right, and slip the hose over the bleeders, and walk away from the car. Make sure that the reservoir is full, and let them gravity bleed.
If they will gravity bleed,
yeah, they usually do.
Yeah.
But what happened there is that if you gravity bleed and you see that one jar is noticeably lower than the other jar, then you know that there's some type of restriction, which usually is the hose.
Then again, let me ask this here. Let me riddle me this. In the left and right side, the left line and hose is a shorter path than the right side because it has to travel across. So one could theorize that it would take longer for the right side to drain the same amount as the left side. No?
Yeah, that's true.
I've never done that exact test.
John Rogers actually showed me that a long time ago.
Okay.
Damn, it's like, God bless that, at that point.
Then again, it may be the fluid dynamics thing of, fluid seeking at some level. It may be.
That's part of it, too. If it's hydraulics, the fluid's all the way there. That pretty much,
okay.
I mean, the replenishment might be a thing, but I have caught a few like that. It's like I said, it's not high tech. It's not very precise. I mean, unless you want to sit there and draw a whole bunch of little lines on your baby food jar. But
hey, you could just get graduated cylinders.
Yeah.
Now, you know what, Mark? I think the end all. If you're going to do calipers, just buy hoses at the same time and be done with it.
Yeah, and do both sides. And just cock the shotgun, get it over with.
But now I just went through this in exhaustion. I went through this with brake lines. I replaced all of them on the car because the fittings were all frozen to the line, and the only way to change them was to cut them out and put in all new stuff. So make sure really hit that. I mean, I'm going to tell you to really dose the fittings where the hard line goes into the hose well in advance of doing it. But
spray them up,
you may never be able to do it enough. And I have the pictures to prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good luck. I hope that works.
Some of those pictures we're talking about there, you got to spray them ahead of time. Use some good quality penetrant type stuff there. WD-40 is a little bit on the wimpy side. You want to go with like Croil or PB Blaster.
I started with PB Blaster. I used Croil, and I used John Day from Pathfinder Lubricants. I used his Flow Torch, which was guaranteed to get in there. And then I used the inductor.
Right.
And then I used the dikes. I was like, okay, I've used everything I have. DEFCON 4.
Yeah,
we're out.
Yeah, just at that point,
I'm
violence.
Thinking maybe it's possible some air got into the.
Well, then you'd have a mushy pedal.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not.
Right.
But I got to tell you, when they were brand new, when I started to use them, I really had to lean on them to stop.
Right, until they bedded in. Yeah, sure.
Yep. And like I said, it's fine. It's not. I don't feel it's dangerous. It just has like a little. I can feel it. But even though the car goes straight, it drives me nuts after a while.
Oh, yeah. No.
Any chance that you got something loose in the front end?
No. The car, it was fine. See, that was one of my thoughts because before I had changed the rotors, they were wore pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was okay driving around town, but on parkway speeds, you go to step on them, and the wheel wanted to jump out of your hand.
Yeah.
I figure something.
Been there, done that.
Because wiggling back and forth a lot,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, I would say it might be just time to load the parts can and do both sides too.
It's like 99, so they have their time on the hoses also. So
yeah,
absolutely.
It's got like 80,000 miles on the car. So
Mark, if I forget to send you some pictures later on today of the interface between the fittings and the lines that I took off on the Buick Grand National, then just get back to me and remind me, because I'll show you that right in between at the interface where the line is in that fitting, it was solidly rusted, and I think there was no chance of me ever getting it apart. And I only found that out when I had it out of the car and sectioned it.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. You gotta sit there and that's why you lube them up really good, and then you just kind of rock them back and forth and see what happens. Because if not, then you have to prepare yourself for what comes
sometimes
next.
if you apply a decent amount of heat to them,
right?
But,
I used the inductor, and that didn't work either. So
right,
that's that thing you wrap around and it turns red.
Correct. Well, it does. Yeah, it inductively heats it. It doesn't really change color, but you'll see smoke.
Yeah. My goodness, and that didn't work.
No. So I had to change the hard lines.
Yeah, that's close to a 30-year-old car, though. I mean, maybe he's only a 20-year-old car, so
right.
Maybe we got a little while to go.
Yeah, no, very, very, yeah. Yeah. So,
All right, well, next day it gets warm. That's what I'll be doing.
okay. Yeah, next day it gets warm, whatever that is.
Yeah, right. Yesterday was so nice, and the day before, last night it turned bad.
Right.
Oh, well. All right, guys. Look, you have a good day. We'll chat soon.
Okay, Mark.
All right, thanks for the info.
Thanks, man.
Take care now.
So
Bye.
long. Bye-bye. All righty. Yeah, Nick DiUlio was trying to get through. He couldn't. 572-7440. Right? I have to say the number. So I know what it is.
I know, but they took it down from the wall. They put the donation number
The
up there.
7438 number's up there.
Yeah,
So maybe Nick will get to us now. So you know what? Let's... hopefully we'll be back with Nick. And meanwhile, if you, like us, like all different types of music, you may want to listen to The Country Show. Fridays at 9 a.m., hosted by Colton Murray and Leanna Lewis.
Good.
Yes, it is. It's contemporary country, and it's showcased along with interviews and legendary artists and all sorts of cool stuff. So you can check that out Fridays at 9. The other thing I wanted to mention, Joe, was there's a car show coming up in a couple of weeks. This is the looks like the old cruise to the show, but it's not.
I was going to say, looking at the style of the writing from what I can see over
They
here.
just lifted right off. This is at Tobay Beach, Saturday, April 28th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Information, you can call 516-624-6380. Free to spectators, free parking, independent judging and trophies, Kids' Choice Awards, restaurant and food items, free concert by That 70s Band, and our good friends from the AutoZine will be down there with a couple of cars, so you can go check that out. Let's go back to the phones. We'll go back to the phone, say hi with the Motor Mouth. You're on the Motor Mouths.
Hey, this is Nick DiUlio from Insurance Quotes.
Hey, Nick, how are you?
How are you doing?
Very good. Good to talk to you guys.
Yes, excellent. I'm glad we were able to. Good thing you have my cell phone number. You were able to get in touch with us.
Yeah,
listen,
right.
We don't have this down to an exact science yet. So
Hey,
Science, come on,
worries.
it's voodoo.
Right.
Come on, let's face a little bit of sorcery, no science.
right. So, Nick, you want to tell us today about a very interesting topic. Lay it out for us. Tell us what's on the plate.
sure. Yeah. So this is the fifth year in a row now that I've written an article about a vast survey of all 50 states and what it means to your premiums, your insurance premiums, when you file even so much as a single auto claim. And we take a look at every single state and what different types of claims or how different types of claims are going to impact your premiums. And we rank the states from sort of the states where you see the biggest impact, like, for instance, New Hampshire, filing a single claim, you're looking at an average premium increase of 66%. They're at the top of the list, all the way down to a state like Kentucky, where a single claim is only going to, you're going to be looking at about a 19% premium increase. And just sort of taking a look at, what that means for, drivers in those individual states. And I think a lot of folks are pretty surprised to see just how substantial these bumps in the premiums can be after filing just one claim.
I mean,
I had to shiver up my spine after reading that.
Yeah, we've all been, we've all been in that world, and like Joe and I both have kids who drive, and they were, younger when they started, obviously, and we've all seen ours. But I know it's certain, like even where we live on Long Island, there's Brooklyn. Certain areas are just higher than others. Why is that, Nick? What dictates the way that those fees are?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question, and it's actually it's a nuanced answer that really isn't the same for all places. So a lot of it comes down to how individual states regulate insurance, the rules about certain factors, what can determine what you pay for insurance. For instance, in a state like California, you're pretty much limited to using only driving-related criteria for pricing people's insurance policies. So that means you can't use things like credit score or marital status. And a lot of the ways that states regulate insurance on that level also determines how much they can increase your premium, because there's certain limits to that as well. So, in a state like New York, let me see, you guys were kind of down towards the bottom. New York, a single claim is going to bump your premium on average by about 31%, which is still,
that still hurts.
Now, that's the thing, like a state like California or New York, like we're on this little island that